in the bush with all the rocks and cattle, there's a little town called Tinga where the wild bush flowers gather. Horses walking freely and cattle too. But Tinga wouldn't be Tinga if the livestock went there too. A town built on sapphires, diamonds and precious jewels, and rocks that span across the land, and beautiful memories too. God bless Tinga with all she ever needs, because Tinga will always be a special place in my memories.
I live in Tinga.
Action.
Oh, when you said it too. Yeah, this is
I'm filming.
I live in 27 Diamond Street. There's cows all over the place.
Yeah, down the street.
What I do for fun, I go driving in a car, just for fun, or ride the motor, or go to a mate's house.
What's the best thing about Tinga?
Best thing about Tinga? Nothing.
Nothing?
Hey,
Cray bombs.
no cray
Yabbies.
bombs.
Swimming pool?
Hey, swimming pool, that's good when it comes to summer, that's it.
So when you leave school, you're gonna be living at Tinga. You're gonna be going somewhere else. What are you gonna do?
Probably leave Tinga, go to Brisbane or something.
I do debating with school, like through school.
Is going any good?
I won state last year.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Can't get much better than that. That's good going. So what's the best thing about Inverell?
I don't know, probably, I don't know, community sense. Like, everyone's really close with each other and they all back you up and support you whenever you're doing something good and going away. And
What are you going to do when you leave school, do you reckon?
I want to become a teacher.
Excellent. So you must like study then? You must like study?
Yeah.
Yeah. And do you want to work with little kids, you reckon, or bigger students, older students?
Little kids.
Yeah. Like primary school.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're fun and cute, aren't they? They're good.
Oh, we got everything at home. Basketball, trampoline.
Yeah. Do you play basketball or something?
No, but I play basketball for school.
Play footy?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I play football on the 12s.
What position you play?
I play 3 positions. I play wing, centre, and fullback. Now playing football. And
You just winning this year?
yeah, we're on top of the ladder.
What do you like about football?
Running over people and tackling and hitting tries.
What do you feel when you get a try?
I don't know, because it's like all the time.
Just general feeling.
Nothing to add.
And are you going to stay in Inverell, you think, when you finish school?
No.
No? Where are you going to? Any ideas?
Sydney, probably.
Yeah. And you've been to Sydney, I suppose?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Do you play any sport? You ever done sport yet?
Sport?
Yeah.
I swim.
Okay, cool. There's a town pool here, isn't there? Is there a town pool in Inverell?
Yeah.
Yeah? Cool. Thank you. Good face, cool. What are you going to do when you leave school?
Learn more about Aboriginal culture.
Oh, good. You going to like do linguistics or something, or go to university or something like this? Do you think?
Yeah.
That's good. So you're obviously interested in Aboriginal culture then, if that's what you want to do. I think that's a really good thing. So at school, do you learn much about Aboriginal culture and local culture at school? About local Aboriginal culture?
You said it? Yeah. Recently we went to Armidale to university and we watched a play about like racism
Oh yeah.
and discrimination.
Yeah. Yeah, you can do. Actually, I think you can do linguistics at Armidale, so you can do Aboriginal studies there as well.
Yeah, we did art as well, like basket weaving, and bark painting and all that.
Oh, wow. Does anybody speak? Does anybody still speak language, or do you learn Gamilaroi or Gamilaroi language at school here?
A few.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do? Oh, good. What do you want to do when you finish school? And you're going to stay in Inverell, you think, or you're going to go somewhere
No,
else? Or?
I want to go to uni and I want to study law and I want to get a law degree and maybe like human rights law or something to do with Aboriginal law.
Wow, that's good.
Yeah.
It's really good gist. I wish you luck. What's the deadliest thing about being a blackfellow in Inverell? And what's the coolest thing?
We're talented.
Talented?
We can chuck backers in front of his flat. Oh, well, I can anyways.
And play footy.
Yeah, but we're real talented at football.
You know the land, like we've been living off what's been growing here.
So how are we going to make Inverell better for young fellas?
By keeping the town clean, like that, and showing the little fellas a good example
That's good.
Educating young people
for when they get in high school.
So
More courses for you.
at what school or TAFE or what do you mean, or generally? Or?
General, any courses.
Youth groups. Just looking after everyone.
Yeah. Okay, so your turn.
Maybe an organisation like PCYC or YMCA even. Just have something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to Tenga Public School. Finished in year 6. Then I went to McIntyre High School. And then after that I went to the University of New England, where I graduated with a Bachelor of Arts in Aboriginal Studies and Archaeology. I'm going back to study next year. At the university I'm doing a diploma in forensic anthropology.
Wow.
We'll look at the bones. So I look forward to doing that.
Yeah, also. So would you been one of the first Aboriginal people around here to go to the University of New England, or
Yeah.
you were the first, were you?
Well, other people went and they graduated as well.
Okay.
But mine was mainstream.
Okay.
So I was in the class with non-Indigenous people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a daughter of Charlie and Kathleen Boney, and I had 7 brothers and 1 sister. We all lived there in Ashford and went to school. And I left school at an early age because of my mother was a sick lady, and then I went out into the workforce and I started working on the tobacco when I was 15, and I used to get 50 cents an hour. We'd start at 5 o'clock in the morning and knock off about 12 at night. And this went on for probably for about 7 days a week. And then as I got older, I used to go out and work with my father on the wheat and sawmill, to sew the wheat bags up for him when he just harvest the wheat. I would help him then when he was log carting. I'd help him to load the logs onto the truck. And then we used to go banning off the 2 of my uncles, Richard Boney and Jerry Boney. And then later on we moved to Penroy Station. We lived up there until we moved into Inverell then. And I ended up leaving Ashford when I was 16. I come to Inverell. I worked at the Inverell Hospital. I was there for about 3.5 years. And I come here to, then I met my husband, John Williams. He's from Woodenbom. We had 5 children, 4 girls and 1 boy. And I adopted my youngest boy, Tony. And never been without working since I moved to Inverell. Always worked.
You've done a lot of hard work too, the sort of work you're doing. So you've always sort of done that. There's always been plenty of work around?
Always was for me. I've always never been without work since I come to Inverell. First Aboriginal person I started Tinga Preschool up and worked there from. I started there when they started the preschool. We used to have it in the weather shed out of Tinga before we got a new building there. The building come from up at near Glenennis.
They transported it, they?
Yeah, transported the building down there. And I've been there for about 5 years out there at a Tinga Preschool.
What was your experience going through school? So, was there a lot of Aboriginal students in the school when you were going to school?
Yeah,
there was a lot
there, yeah. A lot of children there.
How was culture dealt with then?
Pardon?
How was culture dealt with then? Was at that time when you went to school, was Aboriginal culture part of the learning, or was it not?
No, I never learnt much about Aboriginal culture and things then when we were at school. So there is some things I really don't know much about Aboriginal culture at all. Yeah.
So the young students now, the kids were telling me that they do language and other things as well.
They're saying, yeah.
So what's your feelings about that sort of other thing?
Yeah, I reckon it's good that they can continue on doing all that. Yeah.
What's the best thing about Inverell, do you reckon?
Oh, I think it's a good place to live in. People, I get on so well with the community, the white and non-Aboriginal people.
A few people mention that, so do you think there's a pretty good connection here in the community?
Yeah, with the community, and I do. I never have any problems in the town at all. Feel bad with the young preschool children over there in the playgroup. Yeah.
You like that?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
This is a photo taken from the Inverell Times back in January the 13th, 1967. There's a place out of Tinga called the Old Bottom, and was a mission where the Aboriginal community lived. And in the photo there's my mum and my dad, and that's me, the little baby, what my mum's holding. This photo was taken because the welfare built 4 new houses at Hospital Flat in Tinga, and my family was the first family to move in. So everything was new in the house, and I always think how they adapted to the new things like running water, because there was no water. You had to carry the water at the Old Bottom, and then you had things like electricity, and at the Old Bottom they used old fat lights, and even the bathtub, how they would have adapted to all these new things in the house. And I always wondered if someone was there to show them what they was used for. Even the stove, how to turn the stove off and on, because they would have been used to cooking everything outside on a campfire. And then just the differences between the two houses.
What happened to the other old houses, the old house down the bottom?
It was at the bottom, it was made out of tin, and my dad built the house himself.
I have worked in a lot of Aboriginal communities. I began my career 25 years ago as a very young person, right out in Weewar I used to work. And then back then, 25 years ago, there was what they used to call a mission, an Aboriginal mission, the old term, and thank goodness they're not around anymore. And I used to go out and do some playgroups with the little ones. And then I used to go out to Wobbegar and Pilligar and work with Aboriginal families out there. And then I moved to Sydney, and I worked in Western Sydney and worked in the Aboriginal communities around Western Sydney, which is quite different in the cities, quite difficult to be able to talk about things in the cities with Aboriginal people, very hidden, and found that was really quite concerning, because you never saw Aboriginal people around, yet they were there. Yeah.
What were the communities out, like the Aboriginal communities out, like we were in that sort of place, like Burren, all those places? What were they like? Were there racism and that sort of thing?
It's an interesting question.
Because that's where my nan grew up around,
Yeah.
and she never really experienced any because it was kind of easier for her to not identify because she was lighter.
Yeah.
But a lot of her family were Aboriginal out there.
Well, I worked in Burren Junction and Wabbigar and those places, but I also worked in the Northern Territory in the Red Centre, and I spent 10 years there working on all the remote communities with Aboriginal people, and it's such a contrast to working in New South Wales, to going out there, and that there was racism around. And I grew up in Narrabri in schools, and there was racism in schools, and as the years have gone on and I've done more work in Aboriginal communities, I still see racism is still out there, but I think it's made some headways in that people talk more now.
So how did you sort of get into making stuff about Aboriginal people and like going around and talking to people? Do they share a lot of stories with you, like their elders? Because I know like a lot around here are like still a bit hesitant to share their stories and that sort of thing because it was sort of oppressed back when they were younger.
Yeah, that's a good question. It's a really complex question. I grew up in central Queensland, and my dad was a shooter trapper, and I lived literally in a tent, you know, and knew I know a lot of families around here because of my upbringing. So I know a lot of people in the different communities. But as you're saying too, also besides many elders don't want to tell you. I'm not initiated in some of these tribes. They're not going to tell me something anyway. So that's one side of it. The other side is that you've got to have cultural respect, haven't you? And so things are in cultural contexts as well. But if you're lucky and you have the right attitude, you can often come into communities and have an engagement. Not just come into a community, but be engaged in the community. And when that happens, then you can get to know special stuff, because it's actually for the benefit of, like I was talking about before, how you know stories that people don't tell and all that. So all that stuff is then becomes a cultural heritage for the people in the community. So many people are interested in that.
And I think working out in the Street Centre, the Aboriginal people that they want to talk and include you in so many different things, and I saw some magical things. I was involved in ceremonies. I was invited to be part of ceremonies, and they're very traditional laws out there, so I was able to work a lot with elders, and they taught me a lot about their dreaming, and they actually painted up. I would talk to these women, particularly the old ladies, they're wonderful, and the old gentlemen. They'd be talking to me on their westernised clothes, and they have a ceremony and they're all painted up, and I didn't recognise them because they looked so different, and it was just very magical.
But there's just so many more opportunities in Sydney and so many things you can learn and that sort of thing.
Do you notice that here? Do you think, like living in a country place like Inverell, that maybe there's some opportunities that you can't have that you could have in, say, Sydney, for example?
Yeah, I think there's probably a lot of educational opportunities, more so in Sydney, but then there's also for students out of the country. There's opportunities to go away to places like Sydney or Brisbane and go experience stuff like that.
Yeah.
Maybe even just the height of education in the city, like because there's heaps of selective schools and private schools and all that sort of stuff, and there's not really anything like that out here.
You've got to a high level with education. Do you have anything to tell the young ones about education?
Yeah, I like to tell them to keep going to school and do their work and to follow their dreams. Because when I went to McIntyre High, I was in English. I was in the lower class in number 5, and I wanted to stay there because all my friends were there. But the teacher seen in me the potential, and she asked me, did I want to go up to English too? And I said no, because I want to stay with my friends. And I often think, if I'd have went to English too, how better off I'll be, because I would have been a better poet, better writer. When I went to uni, I would have known what all the terms mean, like metaphors and similes and everything like that. So you mightn't see the potential in your life, but other people can. And when they tell you, encourage you, you should take the opportunity and move forward.
Good.
My name's Benjamin Mackay. I'm from Tinga, a little town out in Inverell.
And you tell me about a shed where you've been doing some training. Is it like mechanic and that sort of stuff?
Yeah, I'm doing a course at the moment out at Bundara. It's called Crossing the Divide. And it's you do your year 11, 12 and your Cert 2 in automotive over 2 years. Plus you get to work on your own vehicles. At the moment I'm painting up my own 84 model Hilux.
Okay.
Putting a brand new paint job on it.
Cool. So you got big fats on it and driving lights and all that?
No, not at the moment. It doesn't even have an engine at the moment. But I'm working on it.
Yeah, good.
Go up to the park and play shots like basketball.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, actually tall fella, you probably be good at it too, eh?
What else do you like to do?
Young Michael.
Yeah, Michael Jordan.
Is there any like comp or any local teams that play or anything like that? Is
I
it?
play
Okay.
Monday nights, every Monday night.
Okay.
At Shire.
Was there a couple teams in town or people coming into town?
Oh, people in the, there's a couple of teams in the town, and one of them come from a different town just to play in this comp.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I dance, and I have to go to Melbourne in December for hip hop.
So doing hip hop?
Yeah.
Who's your favourite hip hop Aussie band?
Fun.
Who's your favourite Aussie hip hop band?
Who's your favourite dancer? Michael Jackson.
They like Lil Wayne.
Do you like Hilltop Hoods or anybody? You know, any famous? What's that deadly Korean band from Sydney? What are they called? Do you know there's a Korean band out of Sydney? Do you know what they're called? What are they called? They're cool.
There's one in Melbourne, It's Your Choice Have a Voice.
What's that?
It's Your Choice Have a Voice.
Oh yeah, I heard them say they're good, aren't they?
Yeah, that's what I got chosen to go up there and dance with them.
Oh, that's good. Do you know about NITV?
Yeah.
So is there anybody watching NITV?
Yeah.
No, it's pretty good, eh? So there's opportunities for dancers and musicians and singers. What do you think you want to do? What are you going to do when you leave school? Have you got any ideas about what you want to do here?
Be a basketballer or get into do a lot of sports and
Sports? Yeah. Maybe dancing too, eh? I mean, there's careers in dancing as well.
yeah.
Yeah. So you like it here? You like the area?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'll probably be leaving when I finish school. Probably go to somewhere bigger where there's something bigger for sports and like basketball, soccer, cricket, and
So you pretty want to do that as a profession. You want to be a sportsman.
yeah.
So what were you doing in Newcastle? What's different in Newcastle that you did?
Well, up here in Newcastle, you can just like walk around, go to heaps of places and stuff. Here, if you can just walk straight out of town, nowhere to go.
Yeah. So you reckon you walk down the street and you're out of town?
Yeah. There's better shops down there, stuff like that. More people to get along with.
So what are you interested in? Just general interest, I mean.
Generally, just drama, acting, stuff like that.
Okay. Best thing about Newcastle?
Best thing about Newcastle, probably all the shops.
So shopping.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. And you were saying you like shopping.
Yeah. Love shopping. But Inverell doesn't have any good shops.
Does that? Where are the good shops?
I like going to Inverell.
Ah, so Armadale's got better shops, is it?
Yeah.
Dreamtime butterflies fly in the wind, fluttering in a dreamtime sky. Their colours are like the rainbow, they sparkle and shine so bright. The birds sing a dreamtime song as the butterflies flutter on a spring day in the coolness of the shade. Fly, butterflies, fly in a dreamtime cloudless sky. Tonight they will rest and watch the dancers painted in ochre white, and tomorrow will flutter and fly in the dreamtime sun-filled sky.
So does everybody feel like they belong to the country? You all feel like this is your place, your country, the people come from here?
This is my hometown. I was born here, not back here.
My hometown.
Not right in this spot?
No.
No, just over there.
In the hospital.